Welcome to Affinity Designer. In this video I'm going to explore Frankentoon's Toxic Land and look at the methods we can use for selecting page objects, locating them in the Layers panel and isolating them for exclusive editing. Toxic Land is one of the samples which can be downloaded from the Welcome panel, accessed from the Help menu. This design has been created using hundreds of objects stacked up on top of each other. So how do we go about selecting specific objects with a view to editing them? If you can see the object clearly on the page, like we can with the rabbit's arm, just select the Move tool or press the V key to activate it and click once on the object. If you select an object in front of the object you were aiming for, such as me selecting the shading on the arm rather than the arm itself, hold down the Option key on a Mac or the Alt key on Windows and click again. You can continue to do this to drill right down through the design, returning to the topmost object after successive clicks. If you want to select the arm, including the shading, hold down the Shift key as you click to select both objects, or as many objects as you want. Now let's look at a situation where an object is clearly visible but I cannot select it, such as this background cloud. No matter where I click, it refuses to select. The reason for this can be seen on the Layers panel. The layer the cloud is placed on is locked. Locking a layer prevents unintended editing, as we can see from my inability to select it. This is extremely useful for designs with background or foreground elements which you wish to remain unchanged as you work on the main subjects of the piece. You can still select locked layers by clicking its entry on the Layers panel, and you can select objects on locked layers by clicking this arrow to show the layer's contents, and then clicking once to select the object. Selected layers and objects are highlighted on the Layers panel in blue. This project is well organised with each subject dedicated to a particular layer. In this situation, I can restrict which objects can be selected without locking layers. This icon here is a toggle called Edit All Layers. If it is switched on, as it is now, I can access any object on any layer apart from locked layers. If I click the icon to switch it off, I can now only access objects located inside the currently active layer. So in this situation, you need to select the layer first before selecting inside it. This is useful for focused work. So next I'm going to focus my attention on the circle in this logo. I'll switch Edit All Layers on again, so I don't need to worry about which layer it's located on. Interestingly, my single click has selected multiple objects, rather than just the red circle. If I take a look at the context toolbar, I can see that I have a group selected rather than a single object. This is one major difference between keeping objects together in a layer and keeping objects together in a group. Groups are selected as if they are a single object. You can directly select a single object within a group by holding down the Command key on a Mac or the Control key on Windows and clicking once. Just to note, holding down the Command key on a Mac or the Control key on Windows while clicking will select a single object which is part of a group, a single object which is nested inside another object, or a single object which is part of a compound. Now we have our object selected, we can quickly locate it in the Layers panel by control-clicking on a Mac or right-clicking on Windows on the selected object and choosing Find in Layers panel. We can then use the Layers panel to isolate our selection for focused working. Simply hold down the Option key on a Mac or the Alt key on Windows and click on the selection's thumbnail. All other page objects are temporarily hidden, allowing you to see your selection in isolation. To help me edit my selection, I can also use the Layers panel to zoom into the selection by double-clicking the selection's thumbnail. To switch off isolation mode, you simply need to cancel the current selection. To do this, press the Escape key. To view the entire document once again, you can press Command and 0 on the Mac or Control and 0 on Windows. One last thing before I sign off. If you like the Find in Layers panel feature I demonstrated earlier in this video, you can set Affinity Designer to do this automatically. To change Designer's working preferences, press Command and comma on a Mac or Control and comma on Windows, and then click on User Interface. From here, select the Show Selection in Layers panel option and click Close to immediately activate the feature. Now when you select an object, its entry is immediately displayed on the Layers panel. That's it for this video, but if you'd like to find out more about Affinity Designer, please see our other video tutorials or our comprehensive help system available from the Help menu. Thanks for watching.